Good morning, you're welcome to the Star Breakfast News. My name is Nanama Acquah. Coming up, National Communications Authority begins work on implementation of 5G network with an assurance it will ensure the rollout is beneficial to all stakeholders.
The authority has begun work on the implementation of the 5G policy directive, and we assure you that the NCA will do its best to ensure a rollout that will be beneficial to all of the stakeholders.
Also, Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin urges business community to exercise restraint in their rush for dollars as he accuses minority of worsening the economic conditions with their utterances. And later, pro-environmental group A. Rocha Ghana urges governments to invest in agriculture and embrace agroecology to address food security.
Current agricultural system we are practicing that is not working for us. Into pursuing agroecology, there's going to be tremendous shift, and it should start with significant political will.
Right, thank you for tuning into the Breakfast News. My name is Nanama Acquah. Star News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, MyStar Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Star 1035 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM. Star News. Informed, in depth, in touch. Thank you for tuning in. On to our first story. The National Communications Authority says it has begun work on the implementation of the 5G Network Policy Directive from the Communications Ministry. You recall government last week announced plans to launch 5G mobile broadband services in the last quarter of the year as a step toward achieving a fully digitized Ghana by 2030. Speaking at the launch of the NCA's Dispute Resolution Committee, Board Chair of the NCA, Okatache Ababio Boache Dankwa II, said the NCA would ensure a roadmap that will be beneficial to all stakeholders.
NCA also contributed to the development of the digital economic policy that was approved by the Cabinet of Ghana last month. In all these regulatory activities, NCA has shown that it can work and provide the services that this country needs. Currently, the authority has begun work on the implementation of the 5G policy directive from the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization. And we assure you that the NCA will do its best to ensure a rollout that will be beneficial to all of the stakeholders.
Now on to matters of finance. Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin has urged the business community to exercise restraint in their rush for dollars as he accused the minority of worsening the economic conditions with their utterances. The cedi has depreciated gravely against the dollar since the beginning of the year, crossing the 15 Ghana cedi mark. The minority in the past have warned the situation could worsen as government is still waiting to unlock some $360 million from the IMF. But addressing the press, the Afutu MP has hinted government interventions in the coming days could see the cedi record similar appreciation against the dollar as it did at the end of 2022.
You recall 2022 thereabouts, we had a similar situation where dollar went as high as 15.5, even some people said it reached 16. We know that through the intervention of the finance ministry, came down all the way to 8 cedi per dollar, and it became stable all through. When it happened in 2022, a lot of people lost money. So I will encourage Ghanaian businessmen, individuals, not to rush to respond to the pessimists. They should be optimistic. I know what the government is doing. The government has a track record. It has done this before. So Ghanaians should have confidence in the economy. Don't change your cedis into dollar. If you do not have immediate use for it, you are better off buying treasury bill. Because if you rush to change dollar, thinking that that would be to protect the value of your investment, you may find yourself in some difficulty tomorrow.
Now, the High Court in Sekondi in the Western region has injuncted Joanna Kujo-Jan from holding herself out as parliamentary candidate-elect for the National Democratic Congress at Amenfi Central on allegations that she forged her voter ID and NDC party card. The order of the court, presided over by Justice G.K. Jankonto, has also restrained the NDC, who is the second defendant, from allowing Joanna Kujo-Jan to be held out or dealt with in any way or recognized as the duly elected NDC parliamentary candidate for Amenfi Central. The 5 applicants, Jedu Frimpong, Akubila Daniel, Mr. Ntiamwa, Isaac Chum and Doris Adu sued Joanna Kujo, the NDC and the Electoral Commission as respondents. Now, pro-environmental group Acquah Ghana is urging government to invest in agriculture and embrace agroecology to address the food security and sustainable farming issues in the country. The group believes it is safe in terms of climate change and will promote landscape productivity. Here's Deputy Director of Acquah Ghana, Daro Bosu, who has been speaking to Star News.
Yes, I think what we have realized has been the challenge is the fact that we are not seeing commensurate effort in terms of policy direction and investment from government and political will. We believe that if we could invest even just a tenth of the effort we have been putting into the current agricultural system we are practicing that is not working for us, into pursuing agroecology, there's going to be tremendous shift. And it should start with significant political will, political support and investment in the sector. When you have an agricultural system or sector or food production system that is driven by international multinational companies pushing for seeds that are genetically modified, pushing for agrochemical products, fertilizers and pesticides, and not really a focus on organic production, agro inputs and all that, then you have a problem. We need to start shifting the market demand and also the supply end of it so that we make sure people are aware of the implications of some of the chemicals we put on our food crops and even the challenges that eventually will pose to us in the future. I mean, all these issues of we being exposed to recent incidents of high increase of kidney disease and all of that, it is not for nothing.
Now, on the international front, 22 Chinese nationals have pleaded guilty to committing cyber-related crimes in Zambia. They are among 77 suspects who were arrested in April in connection to what authorities described as a sophisticated internet fraud syndicate. The swoop on a Chinese-run company in the capital, Lusaka, followed an alarming rise in internet fraud cases in the country, targeting people in countries around the world. Local media report the Chinese nationals are set to be sentenced on Friday. Dozens of young Zambians were also arrested after allegedly being recruited to be call center agents in the fraudulent activities, including internet fraud and online scams. Well, that's what we have for the Star Breakfast News. You can log in to starfm.com.gh for more stories. My name is Nanama Acquah.